Hi, it's James Casey. Don't tell anyone. Shh. I wanted to put out Yes I Do this week, which is another of the 3 James videos. I've done When You're Blue and Bad Streets, and this was going to be the 3rd one. And that was going to be out this week, but I thought I needed to push it back to next week because there's been a lot going on, and I just wanted to mention some of that here. But do let me know if you've enjoyed the other 2, When You're Blue and Bad Streets, the 3 James videos, because I'm having a lot of fun doing them, and I want to do a lot more, and I'm really interested to know whether they're working for you. In a lot of respects, I think they're a more useful way of presenting some of my songs than just me and a guitar. Although there will be more of those. I recorded another video of me doing the song Rose, which you may remember from last year. And that's just me and a guitar, and that'll be out, I think, in a couple of weeks. But I want to do a lot more of the 3 James videos, because with the 3 instruments you can do a richer arrangement of the songs, and a lot of the time when I'm doing it with just a guitar, there are bits that I know I want to be in the song that I'm having to cut out, just because there's only so much you can do in an arrangement on one instrument. So I'd be very interested to know in the comments what you think of those. But as I say, there's been a lot going on. And the first thing is the single, Craters in the Sun. I released a single! That sounds absolutely crazy, especially given I have been writing songs since I was about 3 or 4. This is the first time I've ever released a single. It's legal. It's perfectly legal. It's in all of the digital stores. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes, Amazon, YouTube Music, Deezer, Pandora, lots of places, most of which I'd never heard of. And there it is. But being me, I kind of mentioned it in passing on Twitter, and I probably told about 5 or 6 people. I mean, literally, there are close friends I have not told I have released a single. Because, literally, if you have a business, do not get me to advertise it. It will fail, okay? You will sink without trace. But there it is. So for someone who has loved songwriting since he was tiny, it is very much a pinnacle, isn't it? And it's absolutely lovely to get reactions from people on it. But equally, it was lovely to get that from just having released the song with the video. Assuming you've seen that. But it's some of the stores that you release them to, they treat it in different ways. So if you put the song on Spotify or iTunes, I think for it really reach anyone other than 2 cat and a fish called Martin, you'd need people to add it to playlists, because that's how the majority of people encounter songs randomly through those stores, because they'll like a playlist that Bob maintains, and then Bob will add a song to a playlist, and so you'll hear it, or it'll be in your release radar or something like that. Whereas on one website, Jango, what you do is when you put the song on there, you say, I think it's a bit like this band or this band or this band or this band, and it then automatically plays the song to people who said they'd like those bands. So you then kind of hit a lot more people. It seems to me that I've hit a lot more people via Jango than I have with a song or anything else. And you watch it and you can sort of see a stream of who's playing stuff. And the interesting thing is, it's got the country they're in, so you can say, well, so-and-so is playing it in Serbia, so-and-so is playing it in Ghana, this person's playing it in Russia, this person's playing it in Venezuela, all sorts of things like that. And I'm picking out names of country there, sort of random, but the song literally has been played on every continent except Antarctica. Every single one except... So if you know somebody who's in Antarctica right now, or going there in the next couple of weeks, get them to play the song when they're there, and I will have achieved total global domination. It is very funny. I mean, some of these continents, it's had maybe 1 or 2 plays, maybe 3 or 4. But like, I mean, I don't know how many countries now have had at least one person play the song. So that is, for sometimes you have to work hard to convince members of your family that you actually write songs. So that people have heard it in lots of different countries is really terrific. So I released a song as a single. That's thing number one. Thing number two is I have a website. It made sense. If I've got a song and therefore lots of different avenues through which people can encounter what I'm doing, because they might be chancing across what I'm doing on Jango or Spotify or all sorts of different places, more places than only YouTube. It makes sense to have a hub, because then I can say to people who are interested, what about this, what about this, what about this? So I have a website, jamescasey.uk, and it's got links to all these other websites like Jango that I mentioned, and various places where I've got music available for streaming. And there's a mailing list, and there's a page about YouTube, so a little bit of a talk about this channel with the latest video. And then there's a page, obviously, about Creators in the Sun, because that will be a big reason why anyone's paying attention at the moment, with a spiel about it and the video and the song itself. And what I've done on the Creators in the Sun page is you can not just listen to the video, watch the video, or just listen to the song, both of which you can do, but you can also download it. You can buy it if you like. There's an honesty box there, I think they're called that. So you can specify a price that you want to put in. And I think basically there are three reasons why people use honesty boxes. And reason number one is because they think the concept of anyone actually wanting anything that they've created actually having any financial worth is utterly ridiculous. And let me tell you, that is absolutely the case right here. When you look at the website and you use all the tools behind the scenes and it says, would you like to sell this song for 99 cents a pop? You think, who's going to pay 90? Why would I'd be embarrassed to ask anyone to spend any money on this. So you balk at that. Reason number two why people use honesty boxes is, I think, because they want to look desperately noble. They want to say, oh, of course I'm letting people pay what they want to pay. There's that. And what's the third reason I had? Oh yeah, the third reason people use honesty boxes is because you're desperately hoping, although you're aware. I mean, honesty box, fundamentally the reason is that honesty boxes work. I mean, a lot of people are basically honest, aren't they? So you'll always get some people who are not going to pay anything for it, and that's literally a valid option. I'm not going to be annoyed with anybody who does that. But you're secretly hoping that some billionaire benefactor will chance across the website and slide you £1 million in exchange for a download. And now, obviously, I don't need £1 million. I don't. But my guitars do. It's very expensive looking after guitars. They take a lot of care. Those strings don't just change themselves, you know. And I'm the kind of person who could see himself taking care of more guitars in the future. So that's, I think, where the money would come in. So that's there. So do have a look, and it will grow over time unless I do something horrifically wrong. Because I will be doing more. Obviously, I'll be doing more here. It doesn't. I think anything here that's been the case remains the case. I'm not going to stop doing YouTube just because I found that if I submit a single to reputable stores, they won't reject it. Although I did wonder. I wasn't convinced until it actually went live. But I will carry on. As I said, I'm really interested to know what you think of the 3 James videos, because I'd like to do a lot more of those. Yes, I do. Will be out next week. But I do intend to release more songs formally, having done Creators in the Sun. I want to do more of that because it feels great, and it's a kind of the logical conclusion really to doing stuff is to try to get it to as many people as possible, I think. Although it feels really ridiculous, but that's just me. So yeah, there'll be more of that kind of stuff, and there'll be more videos here. And there won't be horrific amounts of merchandise, because frankly the idea of people walking around with James Casey t-shirts, it makes me want to vomit. So, and I don't enjoy vomiting as much as I used to. So yeah, more videos, more songs. There will be more in the stores, and I don't quite know what will be next. I've had various ideas about that, and lots of things going on really at the moment. But we'll be working on this, that, the other, and I'll try and do a better job of keeping you updated. But there's going to be a mailing list. You can sign up to it on the website at the moment. As I say, jamescasey.uk. So that will be an avenue for getting news, because I'm not sure that doing them in a video is necessarily the best way for it. Although obviously I will sometimes. It just makes sense. But a kind of an announcement. Twitter's very good for that kind of thing, and so would an email be. But yeah, lots more to come. But next week, back to the songs. Okay? Good. We done here? We done? Wall? We done? Ceiling? We done? I think we're done. Cheers.